Alrighty, so we've got a bit of a special challenge. This is General Towns versus General Fai, but I can't build any units. So no units from the command center, supply center, barracks, war factory, or airfield. Ranger drops and rangers that spawn from destroyed buildings are allowed, as well as Chinooks that spawn from newly constructed supply centers are a-okay as well. Now, on with the battle. So getting the power plant up. Now, normally you'd want to go for your supply center next. No, we're going to build laser turrets next. See, with General Fai, he kind of hits hard and fast here, and he's going to send out a minigunner drop. But when he sends out his minigunner drop, he's also going to send out a couple of dragon tanks. So we need to get as many lasers up and running quickly, so then we can deal with the minigunner drop, but also deal with the dragon tanks before they start taking out my buildings. And dragon tanks are strong against buildings here, so we've got to be very, very quick here. Anyway, so this challenge is just like the demo challenge. It wasn't put in the official General's challenge of 0 hour. Difference though is Demo General, his challenge wasn't finished, so it's very easy to beat. General Fai, on the other hand, was pretty much completed, so this is a fully working General that we're going up against here. So here comes the minigunner drop, using the dozer to pick off a couple of the minigunners too, and because the minigunners are still in play, we're taking a little bit of damage on our laser turrets from the dragon tanks. If I was a bit faster, I'd be able to take out the dragon tanks without taking any damage with the laser turrets. Now, we're getting the supply center up now. That was actually a mistake. Normally, I'd go for barracks next, so I did lose a little bit of time on what I want to do next. See, what I want to do is I want to get the capture upgrade as well as the flashbang upgrade. To get those two upgrades and we get some rangers on the go, it's very good against the minigunners, especially if you can garrison some of the buildings that are on the map here. If you get like a ranger drop of like 10 rangers, put them in a building, oh boy, does a lot of damage to his stuff that you don't even really need the laser turrets in that section. Now, as for the Chinook, I've got to be super careful here, because that's the only resource gathering I've got going on, and the minigunners have got pretty good range. So I've got to be able to keep an eye on the Chinook and move the Chinook away, so then I can gather those resources a little bit later. So it's sort of like staggered resource gathering. Now, I did go for the spy drone as my rank 1 upgrade for General's promotion. Reason why I did that is simply to keep an eye on things. I need to be able to know when he's coming with his attacks, but I also need to be able to have sections of the map revealed so then I can do some bait outs later. Because this guy does have a nuclear missile. There's no timer in the top right corner, so that is something that they didn't put in this General's challenge. So it's sort of like a mystery timer. It's not, that's not an official part of the challenge. If it was actually completed, we'd have a timer in that top right corner. And that also applies to my particle cannons. If we get particle cannons or any super weapon, there won't be any timer in the top right corner. You have to just go and click on each super weapon to know when they're ready.
Need a point, man. Special forces here. Let's change the date.
Alrighty, so here's the plan. We killed off our barracks with our laser turrets after getting those 2 upgrades. Now we're going to capture the oil derricks. The money side of things is crucial here, because I need the cash to be able to do some bait outs, but I also need the cash to defend myself against his minigunner attacks. He primarily does minigunners, tank hunters, the assault troop crawler, and sometimes he'll bust out an ECM tank. He doesn't really use the listening outposts. His listening outposts do 4 tank hunters, I believe, when you build them. So yeah, it's mainly just the minigunner drops and those assault troop crawlers that come in. It can overwhelm those lasers, but if I have enough lasers in one section, then I can defend myself pretty well.
Keep it safe.
Like a swarm of locusts, they descend from the sky to devour all those who stand against China.
Okay, so if you didn't hear that, Fai just said like a swarm of locusts. When he says that, it means he's going to do a minigunner drop. Now, the minigunner drop is a cash value deal here. And since I got 3 lasers, a dozer, and rangers garrisoning a building, that's going to be the highest value thing I've got. Which is good for me because I don't want any units going near my Chinook gathering the resources. I still have the 2 oil derricks on my side, but I need to get as many resources as I can so then I can do the bait out later. So the nuclear missile became online around about like 1:15. So nuclear missile's got 6-minute timer, so just going off that math, it's going to happen around 7 minutes 30. He does delay his nuclear missile strikes a little bit. And I also built some laser turret scaffolds. That's going to be my bait. Now, I wanted to wait for him to do his minigunner drop, so then I can do the bait out. Because if I do the bait first, then he will drop the minigunners where the bait is, and then he's going to fire a nuke on, you know, my existing buildings. And that's not good for me. I would lose right away. So just got to pack a tank hunters and other infantry. I can't gather resources with a Chinook right now, so that's the thing. It's just staggered resource gathering, and that's part of the reason why we're going with the oil derricks. Is just to cover up for that staggered resource gathering. So nuclear missiles come in, got the bait out, cancelled out those 6 turrets, so no problem there. And I just got to be able to hold out and get to the next stage of the tech tree.
Keep 'em busy. Laying the foundation. Sounds good.
So for some reason that assault troop crawler there is just staying where it is. He's not attacking me, I'm not going to attack it. I'm just going to wait until he makes a move. We don't want to take any risks here, which is why I've built another laser turret. I don't want to push out just yet because it does risk my dozer from being destroyed. So I'm happy where I am with just the Chinook gathering resources as well as those 2 oil derricks. It seems to be getting enough of the work done so I can get the bait outs done. I can build up that tech tree slowly but surely. So we're going for War Factory next, so then we can get to the strategy center later. Now I did delay the resource gathering on the Chinook. I kind of just forgot about things there. Not too big of a problem. We're still sitting on like 7 grand. And now we got the strat center. See, War Factories is good here because, well, 1, kind of tight space, so I needed to go with the smaller building. 2, though, if it gets destroyed, it's going to spawn 5 rangers. Now, those 5 rangers could be used to garrison any of these buildings, and that will help defend myself against Fai's units here. There we go, like a swarm of locusts, so here it comes. And yeah, it's going for my War Factory. So either way, I'm happy with how things went here. I decided to sell the War Factory. If it got destroyed, I have no problem with gaining those extra 5 rangers as a result. But I thought maybe just in case I'll stick to having the extra $1,000 so then I can do bait outs later. Now, hitting that rank 3, I didn't go for A10s. I went for a level 2 ranger drop. See, A10 strikes are not going to be helpful to me right now because his defense is so strong with all of those minigunners. Especially the ones that are inside the fortified bunkers. They can do a lot of damage. So I think it's best if I just bolster my own defense And yeah, 10 Rangers inside a garrison building is going to be a very solid defense, just on its own. So I'm using the magnifying glass. I probably could have used it a little bit later on. I didn't need to use it right this second, because we're not even looking at his stuff right now.
Taking charge.
Ah, there we go. So he's not really doing too much. He's just sending in the same number of units roughly every time, but I've still got enough laser turrets to defend. Now, I moved my Rangers to the closest building near the bridge, then getting the extra one to capture the third oil derrick, just to help bolster up my resource gathering a little bit.
Building is ours.
That particle cannon is useless against
Yep, so now I got a particle cannon, and like I said before, no timer in the top right corner. I've just got to go on what I see in the right side of the screen where all the general powers are. Now, if you've got multiple particle cannons, which we will, means that I'll have to click on each individual particle cannon to get an idea of when it's ready. Because the timer that's in the far right side of the screen is only going to tell me when the closest particle cannon is going to be ready. So it just means I've got to juggle just that one little extra thing in order to decide when to use each particle. If I want to do any combo attacks or anything like that. So I ended up using a spy drone on my own base, and reason why I've done that is so I can reveal that little section of the map where I have been doing the bait outs with the nuclear missile. So that's why we want to do that. I just want to be able to easily set up the next bait and then cancel out when the nuke comes along.
Any more projects? Sounds good. Advanced training is complete, sir.
So yeah, he doesn't do a lot of ECM tanks, but when he does, they tend to go for my dozer, and that's the only vehicle that I've got on board here, so that makes sense. And my lasers are easily going to take it out as well. Like a swarm of locusts, again. And that's the thing, I was cutting it close with the nuclear missile coming, but I wanted to wait for him to say like a swarm of locusts, so then I could set up the bait. Now, it's supply drop zones this time, they're $2,500 a piece. I know for sure that the nuke is going to hit that spot. I was a little bit close with getting the cancel off on all of them, but we managed to get there, and look at the amount of cash we got. We got 14 grand. And we're building our next particle cannon. So this is where we're sort of in a comfortable spot. We just got to wait on our particle cannon to get ready, and then we can finally attack Fai.
New construction. Ready for action. On the go. Entering the structure.
Awesome. So yeah, with the Ranger drop, just dropping it in on that bottom left corner, garrisoning the next closest building, that way of just bolstering that defense a little bit more. We don't need that third oil derrick, but if we can hang on to it for as long as possible, it's definitely a big help.
Bring on the scaffolding.
And yeah, I wasn't paying attention at this point. I let my building take quite a bit of damage there, and yeah, I've lost some of my defense, but it's no big deal. I can just get those Rangers into the next closest building that's got full health, and then we can continue defending that section. So I did notice the power section there, so that's why we're just stopping on the particle cannon construction there. See, that was a better use of the magnifying glass. Now, this is the Achilles heel of General Fai. Look at his reactors. So, taking out the supply center, one reactor is also, like, that's all it takes to shut him down power-wise. And since we're destroying pretty much all of his reactors, bar one, that's really going to delay the next nuclear missile strike. It is a little bit of a risk because it means that I'm not going to have a handle on when the next nuclear missile strike is going to come, so I won't be able to easily bait out the next one. But with the amount of particle cannons that we're going to have, I think it was worth it. Now with that rank 5, I went for the AAA-10 and the fuel airball, which we will upgrade to Moab later on. And I didn't get Spectre gunship because Spectre gunship is very weak against General Fai. I did lose my Chinook there, and I did lose an oil derrick, so my resource gathering has been cut down. I did get a little bit scared, so that's why I used the fuel air bomb, but the problem pretty much solved itself anyway, so I didn't really need to do that. But yeah, as you can see, we're on 17.5 grand pretty much, so even with our resource gathering cut down by a bit, we're still in pretty good standing. We've got 3 particle cannons, we just got to be able to hold on that a little bit longer, and then we can do that one big attack right at the end.
Unit lost.
And yeah, I figured since he's got no power, I should be able to reveal the map with the spy drone and keep an eye on him. And yeah, he's rebuilding his reactors. They're sort of in awkward spots. Not sure if that's a scripting error on his part or not, but he is going to eventually get his nuclear missile back online. So I've got to be able to take out those reactors again with the next particle cannon, which is pretty close to coming. It's, I mean, less than a quarter of the way to go, so we should be able to shut him down and then just keep that, you know, keep that nuclear missile from firing for a third time.
General, our base is under attack.
So I was thinking about using my ranger drop where the other garrison buildings are, but then I thought, well, I'm sort of pretty, I'm pretty set on defenses at that section. I've got 20 rangers and it seems to be doing the job, so I think I'll hold off on the ranger drop.
Particle cannon activated.
So yeah, once again, going for the reactors. This time, I'm also gunning for his dozers, so that will delay him even more when it comes to reconstruction.
Enemy Black Lotus detected.
Let's build.
And yeah, kind of ran out of room, so I need to clear the way by destroying another building. And I see that there's one lone minigunner trying to destroy me. So I decided, let's put the ranger drop here. That way I've got some form of defense at my main base, and then I can, that way I can hang on to the command center in case he does any big moves later. See, by putting everything in that bottom left corner, he's been prioritizing that bottom left corner. If I was to stick to my main base, then he'd attack the main base. Now that ECM tank was getting blocked by the buildings, and my strat center's set to bombardment, so I was able to deal with that, thankfully. I was going to send some rangers to the bridge, but yeah, wasn't needed in the end.
What tactic will you amaze me with now, General?
Want to make some improvements? Good area.
So I see he's rebuilding the reactors, and I'm taking a look at each particle cannon. I was like, okay, yeah, this
Particle
one's pretty
cannon
close to
activated.
firing. So this is when I do my big move on the nuclear missile. So we take out the reactors. That does a little bit of chip damage to the nuke, and then we can use the rest of the particle on the nuke itself.
Particle cannon ready.
And second particle cannon, that will be able to finish off the nuclear missile, and then no more super weapon to worry about. Good thing is he didn't rebuild the nuke, but that being said, he's got a whole bunch of reactors to rebuild anyway, so he might, if he does rebuild his super weapons, then he'd probably do it after rebuilding the reactors. And I chose to do a little bit of damage by putting the A-10 strike near where the war factory is. And I did factor in the ECM tanks that would spread those A-10 missiles out.
Unit lost.
So that's why I aimed it in such a way.
The war factory is not essential to my victory, but do not destroy another.
And yeah, with that, I felt a little bit more comfortable with moving my dozer towards the bridge and repairing the garrison buildings. That's why I didn't repair the buildings earlier. It's just I was a little bit too scared of losing the dozer
General,
at that
our
point
base
in
is
time.
under attack. Special forces here. Let's get in there. Clocked in. Made in the US of A.
So now I'm building some laser turrets near the bridge and just pushing my defensive line just a little bit more forward. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because when Fai sends out his units to attack, once you destroy that unit, it will take some. The lasers will take some pot shots on those fortified bunkers there, and that's what I was going for.
Laying the foundation.
Unit lost.
Any more projects? Good area.
And Moab, just trying to do some form of damage. I can't put the Moab out too far, otherwise it's going to get shot down by whatever infantry's got. So I didn't want to take too big a risk with that one.
Unit lost.
And I'm also hanging on to my ranger drop just in case something bad happens. We're set out on defense at the bottom left corner, and our main base is looking alright too. So that's just a backup just in case, and we did use that because he pulled a fast one on me and he ended up capturing my reactor.
Unit lost.
Search and destroy.
So I was a little bit
Building is being captured.
reckless with the positioning there. I did lose some rangers, but we did take out the Lotus, and then we're back online. So very, very minor inconvenience there, and we can just recapture the oil, not the oil, the reactor that we lost. So I'm prepping up for my big attack now. I'm waiting on the other 3 particle cannons to be ready. And yeah, as you can see, on the far right with the general powers, I've got the 1 particle ready, but I can't see anything from the other particle cannons. So I've got to click on each one individually to know when it's going to be ready.
Control rod upgrade complete.
Yep, so it should all be ready in less than a minute.
More projects.
I'm just building some backup power just in case he does another Lotus attack on me, but I do have the Rangers at that bridge to defend in case he does try to capture my reactors again.
Like a swarm of locusts.
Like a swarm of locusts. So here comes another minigunner strike.
Against China. I have enough men to crush you.
Didn't really need to move the dozer out of the way, I just thought just in case. Even if I lost the dozer at this point, it would not matter.
Have a job for me.
Enemy Black
I'll build
Lotus
anywhere.
detected.
On the job.
So I got a little bit weird with my attack as well. So with the particle cannons, what I think I should have done was I think I should have aimed my A-10 strike at the supply center with the reactors. And I could have done a particle on the prop center and the command center, then another on the barracks and the war factory, and then another that would take out the remaining reactors. If I'd done all of that, I would have won the battle. But because I got a little bit weird with my attacks, I did delay the victory a little bit. So yeah, particle on the prop and the 2 barracks, A-10 on the war factory. But that still leaves him with 1 reactor and a supply center. So now I either have to wait on the general powers and the particle cannons to be ready again, or think of a different strategy. See those lasers putting in the damage there? So yeah, here's my strategy. I'm going to use the 20 rangers that we have been using to defend ourselves to finish him off. Now, these rangers have pretty much been gathering veterancy from all of these attacks, so they're pretty much all Vet 3.
Unit lost.
And yeah, just look at how much damage they're putting in on those bunkers there.
Pin him down.
And just using a satellite scan, Fai does like to have mines around his base, so that's just, you know, precaution for when we go in.
On the go.
I tried to use the ranger drop inside his base, but he's still pretty well defended from that angle. So yeah, no such luck there.
Need a point, man. Rally point confirmed. Terminator has arrived.
Now yeah, just watch the damage done on that supply center.
Enemy identified. Fully engaged. On task. Taking new positions. Enemy identified. Pin him down. Taking new
See, he would have been able to counteract this if he just used a dragon tank, but he's not. So that's how I beat General Fai without building any units as General Towns. Now, if you enjoyed this one, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do have a playlist if you want to check out any more of my Command and Conquer challenges. I'll see you next time.
Accept
Bye.
this defeat, General. My men will cover my escape, and we will fight another day.
You were lucky this time, General. You could never beat me again.